What's going on, nerds? Welcome back to Comic Book Nerd Nation. I'm Fox2. We got the whole crew here today. We got Pirate.
How's it going, people?
Topher.
How's it going, people?
God damn it.
And Holef and Brown.
How's it going, folks?
We really didn't know what to do without you here last week.
It's
we were
funny
like,
because
we can't make fun of what Pirate says.
They
then
literally
what are we
tripped
gonna
up
say?
at
I
the end
knew
of the
it.
episode. They literally like, I really don't know what to say now.
I knew it was going to be like this, too. Like, I was even thinking of something really witty to say, like hey, everybody, my Facebook feed looks like the Confederate South is at war with the Skittles manufacturers or something. You know what I mean? Like, but then I was like, I'm not going to go with
Oh, wow.
You
man.
should have.
I like
You
it.
should have said it.
Because that was fairly clever. Oh yeah, seriously, if you haven't listened to last week's, go back and listen to it, Pirate, because they literally, like, you can see the look on Topher's face as the gears are just turning, like, shit, my freebie is not here. I don't know what to say now.
I don't want to listen to you assholes when I don't have anything to interject. Kiss my ass.
I found that the ones that I can't be on, I have a really hard time listening to them after the fact because, like, I want to speak up and yell. I want to yell at people and say shit, and I can't, and it's just way too frustrating.
But at the same time, though, it feels like if I just listen to it sometimes, because like you guys get talking and I try to say stuff and I can't get it in, I'm like, oh, it's just like listening to it. Okay.
All right, let's jump in and start talking about what we've been reading. Pirate, you want to start things off?
I haven't been reading shit. I've been playing Batman Arkham Knight.
Fair enough. We're going to talk about that today. I'll go next. It's not a long list. I read. I think it was last episode that I talked about Batman Earth 1, Volume 2, that I read that I really liked. And it kind of got me thinking and wondering a little bit about what the other Earth 1 books were like. So I went out and got Superman Earth 1, Volume 1. And I read that. I like it. I really... it was pretty good. I'll probably buy... I think there's 3 volumes of that one. And if they're all as good as the first one, when I'm done with that, I'll probably move on and read the Teen Titans one that's out there too, because I'm really enjoying that series of books. They're a little overpriced, although Superman wasn't bad. Superman was only like $10 or $15 or something like that, so that's pretty doable. But they're not very long. And then I also started reading Batman Long Halloween, which is one that I've wanted to read for a long time, and I just never, for whatever reason, it just...
Better let me borrow that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm about halfway through it, so I expect to be done with that by next week's podcast.
Now wait, is the Long Halloween, that's the second one?
No, that's the first one.
Okay, the first one. That's the one with the Scarecrow where he talks in rhymes and shit.
I don't know because I'm not done with the book yet.
As soon as it starts, I mean.
Then no, that's not the
Is
one.
the second one the wrong Halloween?
No.
The second one is the one where Pirate tells you the whole story when asking you if you've read it.
Is that the one where Batman punches that guy in the face, but it ends up being a chick? And
Probably.
It's his mom, and he kills his mom again.
He kills his mom again.
The story is really good. It's kind of like Dark Knight Returns for me. Like, the story is great, but the artwork just doesn't really... There's not really much to be excited about as far as I'm concerned on the artwork part of it. But the story more than makes up for that, just like with the Dark Knight Dark Knight Returns.
Dark.
So, Topher, how about you?
X-Men.
I've been catching up on Marvel.
You keep.
I'm about 7 years
Yeah,
back.
right.
The scrolls get completed.
We should do 1 week. We should do
like
where
5
we
months.
each take turns just trying to piece together what you've been reading for him. Well, there was this Avengers book, and I read that. It was pretty good. And then I read
Thor threw a hammer. And
yeah, and
Hawkeye
I read
threw a wall.
I read some Hawkeye, and that was pretty interesting take into his life.
Captain America
and,
was all like, America.
Scarlet Witch was all, she was kind of bitchy and stuff, you know, but she had really good depth of character.
And then I really like these other writers that wrote back in the 60s. I don't know if I told you guys about the fact that I started in the 60s and have been trying to read everything up until now, which is why I'm still trying to get caught up. Because I started 40 years late.
Time warp again.
I only started 40 years behind, so really I'm doing pretty good.
I've read almost double my life in comic books.
This is a comic book nerd nation first. Usually we're busting on pirate or boxes.
This has turned into a Topher roast very quickly.
Is this what it feels like, pirate? I don't like it. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Oh shit! All right, Topher, what did you do?
Doesn't feel good,
Tell
man.
us about the X-Men. What are they up to this week?
No, so I was gonna say that I didn't read any books with an X in the title, but I guess that's not true. I did.
Porn.
But not as the first letter. No, I read a crossover that I'll give you a synopsis of the story and if you can figure out which one it was.
Black Vortex.
So you have the Avengers and the X-Men have a disagreement about the custody of a particular person who's important to mutant kind.
Hope Summers.
And they get in a fight over
two penises holding hands.
Have a disagreement, and they come to blows. But then, the X-Men are under the influence of some outside force, and they kind of turn they start doing evil things, and they try and sort of take over and make things the way that they would want them, and the Avengers have to come and try and shut them down. And Brian, you said AVX?
Yeah.
No, that's totally the synopsis of Axis as well.
My guess is
that's what he meant.
My guess is any X-Men crossover since 1970.
What in the hell is that?
I dropped something.
Brian dropped his
Brian's vibrator and just went off on his desk there.
Brian just dropped his vibrator on the desk.
He starts dancing across
I had a conflict. I tried to Axis.
He's like, don't talk about Mr. Winky like that. I don't know what that is, but it sounds...
I tried to drive my helicopter on screen.
Oh, that's so loud. Please don't.
Wow.
Oh boy. My God.
It didn't work out right, but it led to a good time.
That's okay. So away from Brian's sex toys and back to Topher's.
He's gonna be like Enrique Iglesias and chop his finger off with a droid in his bedroom or something.
Seriously,
what?
This might be the fun
Enrique Iglesias and drop your finger off.
He chopped his finger off.
Better question right now is why is Pirate keeping up with Enrique Iglesias' personal life?
You didn't see that? It was all over Twitter. Like there was a droid or like a drone in the crowd.
I don't want to know why you're checking out other dudes' Twitters.
No, it was like trending, and he went to reach up and grab it in the middle of a concert, and the fucking blade sliced his hand open.
Oh, that's fantastic,
dude!
Yeah, what a dummy!
Blood all over him and shit. It was amazing.
They've been talking all about it on his One Direction news group.
Just because I'm an admin doesn't mean anything.
His One Direction support group.
Right.
All right.
So anyway, yeah, last week I'd mentioned that I started reading Axis. Well, I finally finished it this week. It didn't finish quite as strong as it started, but it was better than the middle. So it still ended up being pretty decent. Overall I liked it. I guess it got a lot of bad press. I still hated the part that where they're all like, Scarlet Witch is casting a spell to affect her bloodline, and it doesn't do anything to Magneto. And they're like, "Oh, he's not really, we're not really part of his family." I still think that's kind of bullshit. But overall, it was pretty decent. Again, like the heroes who turn evil, who get inverted, they're the worst part of that story. Like if they had written them with any depth to them whatsoever, like it would have been way better. Towards the end, there's actually like a really cool scene. Like some of the villains ended up being like the best part of that book. Like there's like an inner monologue that Doctor Doom's giving for a while that's really cool. And then you get to see the Red Skull being a good guy, and he's like this old decrepit, they call him the White Skull, for a brief time, and they're trying to figure out whether to set things right again, and they realize that they're going to go back to being a bunch of evil bastards afterwards, and they're trying to figure out just the discussion between them when they try and figure out like whether they should go through with it and whether they can go back to being the monsters they were, was actually really interesting. Like there was a really cool scene between Sabretooth and Mystique, talking about the first time they met, and like just like wanting to do good by each other, and like I don't know, it was just some of the interactions between the villains turned good guys were hands down the best parts of the story. And then by contrast, the heroes were just so terribly one-dimensional. It was probably the only downside to it, but overall I liked it.
Playing off of what you're just saying, have you ever seen the DC, it's a documentary, my fiance got it for me for Christmas. Yeah, Necessary Evil. Have you ever seen that, Topher?
Yeah.
No.
You need to borrow it. I have it on Blu-ray. It's fantastic. It's a lot of like writers and artists and film directors and stuff, and they talk about the villains of the DC universe. And man, the way that they talk about them, it makes you realize that they are as important, if not more important, for the depth of the story and the pull you in factor of the stories as the.
I've heard of that actually.
It's fantastic. I mean, you listen to like Scott Snyder and Neil Adams and some other people talk about the Joker and the Riddler and these characters that we all have come to know. But the way that they talk about them, and it really makes you realize the depth of those characters and how much they add, how much they're the star of the story, just as much, if not more, than Batman or Superman or whoever the hero of the story is. Without the supervillain, there would be no superhero. There would be no story. If you don't have somebody that can challenge Batman or Superman or whatever, then there's really no reason to write about Batman or Superman. Otherwise, it would be really quite pointless. So,
and still, really my favorite superhero movie is still Dark Knight, and it's primarily because of the strength of Heath Ledger's Joker. It's just fantastic. Ridiculous.
Probably will never be paralleled.
He even said, the character in the movie even says, that like they're opposites. Without one, the other can't exist, kind of thing. Like that they're necessary complements to each other, and and it's why, like, the Avengers is a really fun movie, but it's hard to. I mean, Loki. I guess Loki is the villain in that one, and Loki does make a really great villain. But then you've got the Chitauri, and he's kind of a pawn of Thanos, of somebody, of so like it's outside of Loki, the Marvel Cinematic Universe really doesn't have a whole lot of villains that have a whole lot of depth to them. Like I've always felt that a lot of the Marvel stuff, their heroes really shine, and on the DC side, the villains tend to have a little more character to them sometimes than the heroes that are chasing them down. So it's that would be an interesting thing to see. I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
The only other stuff I read were I started the new Ms. Marvel series and the new Legendary Star-Lord series. And by new I mean like last year, but they're still going. So Star-Lord series is kind of okay. I wasn't really super impressed with it. It's kind of written like, like, hey, Star-Lord, you guys saw the movie, now read the comic book.
I could.
There's just not a whole lot of substance. there's not a whole lot of substance to it. Like the writing, the dialogue is kind of like it tries too hard to be cheesy and like make it sound awesome, and it falls a little flat. But the Ms. Marvel book has actually been really good. I'm like, I don't know, 9 or 10 issues in now at this point, and I like that one. It's kind of cool. Like the Inhumans have always been kind of a little bit more fringe for the Marvel universe, but they're definitely taking more of a spotlight now with a movie coming up, and the fact that the TV show Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is dealing with them a lot. So plus they're kind of like Marvel's new mutants, since they can't really use mutants in much anything anymore. So they've kind of stepped it up with some of the Inhuman storytelling recently, and the Ms. Marvel book is it's really good. Like they kind of remember like early Spider-Man stuff, how he was still a teenager, still in high school, and like trying to figure out like how to use his newfound powers and responsibility. Like it reminds me a lot of that, like the troubles, the like coming to grips with your place in the world when you're still just a teenager, and figuring out like how you're supposed to juggle like superpowers and a curfew. So it's been really good. So I recommend that one.
Yeah. What about you, Brian? Been reading anything?
I'm gonna take a chapter out of everybody else's book this week, and I have read nothing.
All right, fair enough.
But I bought some cool. I bought some cool shit for my nephews, though.
Like a vibrator.
No. I bought this whole metal retro tin.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And I bought this Iron Man one.
That's cool.
Nice.
So that's my display of the week.
Fantastic. I've seen those. Those are really neat.
We're gonna have to start having like a show and tell section. Look at this cool shit.
We may have to have Pirate come up with a theme song as well.
Jesus fucking Christ.
He's gonna have to start writing these down or something.
He's gonna have to get like one of those keyboards with like sound effects and stuff and hook it up to his computer.
I have one around here somewhere. I got a MIDI controller somewhere. I don't know. I'll just see if I can dig one out and come up with some shit.
Let's do tabletop game of the week. Over to you, Topher.
Oh, we actually do. I thought you were gonna do the. All right, we can do that. So you did catch me off guard.
That's my goal every week.
All right, so I know you guys are. I know at least Fox and Pirate are Blizzard fans. I know you guys like the play the Diablo. Have you ever played? I know Pirate's played Hearthstone. I've played against him. You guys ever play Hearthstone?
No.
Hearthstone.
No, I have not.
Hearthstone.
Is it good?
Hearthstone is.
What?
Is it Hearthstone or is it
Hearthstone?
This is a game that's very much like checkers with joints.
I thought he said Hearthstoner. I was like, what?
Is that the thing?
Variation I've never heard of.
Is that the thing in
Hi, my name's Topher.
World of Warcraft that brings you back to your base? Or is that a Hearthstone?
No, it's Hearthstone. Well, yeah, it's a World of Warcraft item, but they basically you play. It's like a card game. It's like a video card game where you've got like you play as somebody with like you have 20 health. You have these cards. You spend mana to play them, and then like you can have them fight each other, and the goal is to kill the other guy. Well, somebody made an actual physical tabletop version of that. Like I don't know how they got away with ripping it off. But same deal. You have cards. They're printed out. They've got like mana costs, and you can play them, and you have creatures, and you have spells. It's called like the Gathering of Magic or something like that.
Please.
And I don't know.
Tell me that's the name. Tell me the name is actually the Gathering of Magic.
No, it's like
Magic.
Something like that.
Nice.
Oh, Magic the Gathering.
All right, fantastic.
But,
Our
like,
tabletop
it's
game of the week has now came full circle, and we've reached full-blown nerddom.
Lame.
Oh, wow. He really buried the lead on that one, too.
I thought he was
no
talking
idea
about
where
a
he was
Hearthstone
going.
game.
I did. So no,
Well
actually,
done,
you know
sir.
what?
Well done.
I had never. I knew if I started right off with this, I was going to get some comments, so I had to build up to it.
Oh, you're still going to get comments.
But oh, I'm sure. Honestly, when I was,
I used to play Magic a lot.
Okay, really? See, when I was in high school,
like this section is for us to interrupt you.
And you are very good at it.
I know.
Kudos.
I know.
So like back in high school, there were people that played it. I never played it. We kind of, that was like for the uber nerds to play that. Like I wasn't even that nerdy. At least I like to think I wasn't. But some a friend of mine though recently got into it and convinced my girlfriend to buy a deck, and then she convinced me to buy one, and so I started playing, and it's actually I've played a couple times here and there. Yeah, see, Pirate's got some.
This is my tourney deck.
It's actually, it's actually pretty fun. I hadn't really. It's God, can it be a freaking money sink?
Yeah.
But the idea basically for any if anybody hasn't played it,
for all one person out there that has not played this game yet, the last 3 decades.
There might be people out there. The idea is you have a deck of cards.
Let the man speak.
You put together a deck of cards. Okay, they sell all kinds of different cards. Generally they have like one of 5 different colors. There's white, blue, green, black, and red, and different
gold
types of like they have different themes. Like the red ones are more aggressive. The black ones have to do with like death and things like that. The blue ones end up more with like trying to control you with spells and whatnot. But anyway, so the idea is you have a stack of cards, and you have to play each turn. You take turns like laying down cards that give you mana to then play these creatures that you attack with, and you try and deplete the health of the other person. But there is so much freaking strategy to it. Like you can, there's got to be 10,000 probably more cards that have been printed for Magic.
So what you're saying is that it's over 9,000.
Oh yes. Yeah, it's definitely over 9,000.
But only possibly 10,000.
It's a collectible card game. It's a collectible card game where they have different sets that are constantly coming out like every few months, and you buy booster packs and you open them up and you hope for like rare cards that that are really cool. But the real challenge is in putting together a deck that works really well with each other, that can actually do well. And there's just so many strategies. And I'm going to actually bring it back to the Blizzard games, because I was way more of a video game guy back in the day. And one of my favorite games to this day is still StarCraft. And StarCraft 2. And the reason why is because of how ridiculously well balanced it is. Like you can play that game and there's always a counter to everything. There's no it's like it really is extremely complicated strategic paper rock scissors. You can never do something that is just foolproof strategy. Like everything has a risk. Everything can always be shut down by something else. You have to you have to make sure that whatever you're doing, you're watching what the other player is doing and making sure that you're staying one step ahead of them. And Magic has a lot in common with that, in that there are just so many different kinds of decks and so many strategies to play that you're always trying to figure out what's going to beat you and how do you minimize your chances of losing while still beating everybody else.
So I'm going to give you a freebie. All right, here's a freebie. This is my Relentless Rat deck. Relentless Rat deck. Check this combo out.
Can I build a team full of High Templars and Dragoons?
Pirates this deck.
Check it out. Check this out. Okay.
Yeah.
This is the greatest deck I've ever built. Not greatest, but this is a good one for current play. So, a common card. Relentless Rats. All right, check it out. There might be some glare.
Yeah,
there.
there's
There's
glare.
a lot
Right.
of glare.
Why don't
Alright, I'll
you take
read
it
it
out
to
of the, why don't you not use
So-
protection?
We'll angle it a little bit.
Take
So
it out
hold
of
on.
the card condom.
Check it out. So in Magic, you can only have 4 of any one card, unless it's legendary
Tournament
or whatever.
rules.
No, period. Like that's just in book rules. Unless the cards override the rules. So with this card, Relentless Rats, it's Relentless Rats gets +1/+1 for each other creature on the battlefield named Relentless Rats. A deck can have any number of cards named Relentless Rats. Okay, so that's just a regular. It's
So how many Relentless Rats cards do you have in your deck?
Like 20 something. But here's the thing.
Is that legal?
Yeah, because it says it. Yeah, but here's the thing. You hit that card with a Thrumming Stone.
Thrumming Stone?
Yeah, a
That
Thrumming
sounds like
Stone.
that's probably the
Hold on.
name of Brian's dildo that just went
Probably
off.
the thing. Yeah.
Oh, mine's called the Thumbing Stone.
Oh.
With a Thrumming Stone has a ripple effect of 4. With a ripple effect of 4, any card that I play, I draw 4 cards. If it's the same card, it goes directly into play. So if I
Nice.
draw a Relentless Rat, I draw 4. If I play a Relentless Rat and I draw 4 cards, if I draw 4 more Relentless Rats, they go in for free. So I now have 7 creatures out. So this deck is fucking legit.
Wait, so
It's
this is
out of
a
control.
Blizzard game?
No, this is
it's
fucking
a-
Wizards
No,
of the Coast
Wizards of the
game.
Coast. This
No, it's
is
maybe
shit
Wizards
that
of
we were
the
playing
Coast
back in
company.
like fucking 5th grade, man.
The Wizards of Waverly Place?
Yes, the Wizards of Waverly
Yes.
Place.
Oh, you got me excited. I thought it was like some kind of Magic type game, but all
No,
based
it
on.
really is magic.
It really is
Wizard.
Magic the Gathering.
It really is
I got a
magic.
chubby when he threw that out there. I didn't know he played, and I'm going to play him tomorrow at work, Chris. I'm coming for you. Guys. It's on now.
All right, so that's it for the tabletop.
I'm going to continue to
game
play
of
with
the week.
myself.
See, but my deck's I'm playing standard, so I'm gonna have to force you to make a standard deck because
That is
screw
standard.
modern.
That is standard.
Well,
Wait,
we're
what?
still playing tabletop game
I'm
of the
playing
week.
standard.
Yeah, you guys
So,
clearly
John
didn't
has to
hear-
do it.
That's standard.
you clearly
John
didn't
has to
hear
do
the
another
outro music,
outro.
so maybe we should play it again.
Huh?
Yeah.
What set is this from?
Fuck, you guys are deaf.
The last card game I
The
played.
outro music is
was
played
that was
twice,
pretty
and you're
cool.
still talking about it. By the way, make sure that you
Oh,
go
no,
back
this is 10th.
and watch
That was right for
John's
10th
face
edition.
as he is doing the outro music, because it is just absolutely spectacular. It's a thing to behold. Okay,
Like these nuts.
these nuts. All right, in
Got him.
Got him.
all right. Still in the gaming realm. Let's talk for a minute. We got a request or a question on one of our recent podcasts a couple weeks ago, asking us if we were going to talk about Batman Arkham Knight that had not released at that point, but has since been out for almost a week, just
Almost
at a
a
week,
week.
just about a week.
It'll be a week on
Tomorrow.
air. A week and 1 day
Yeah,
when this airs.
right.
Yeah.
So it's been out almost a week as we're recording this. Myself and Pirate have both gotten it. Brian,
Hey,
have you
Brian.
played it yet?
Yeah, I'm playing. I've played it. Actually, I was playing it. It's on pause right now.
All right.
So once we're done, I'm going back to it.
Topher will do our best not to give you any
Behind.
storyline spoilers. I'm going to talk first. The
Forget
game,
what about our listeners?
the graphics are incredible. The gameplay, it's so very difficult to tell the difference between the gameplay graphics and
Gameplay.
Gameplay.
the gameplay graphics and the cutscene graphics are so similar. They're so close that it's really seamless. On so many video games, you play and you get to the end of a chapter or a section or whatever, and they cut to a cutscene, and it's like a hard cut, goes to black, and then you have almost like a film quality cutscene. Well, this game, the graphics are so incredible that the cutscenes are just built right into the gameplay. It's a kind of a seamless transition. You'll get to a point, Batman will like stoop down on a ledge and raise his arm, and there will be a hologram that pops up out of his arm, and Alfred is talking to you, or or Lucius Fox or whoever whoever it might be that you're talking with.
Not his parents.
But not his parents. No.
Wow.
The gameplay itself, if you've played any of the other Batman games, it's very fluid. It's very easy to learn how to control. The addition of the Batmobile in this one is awesome. I really like it. A lot of reviews that I read said that was like the downside of the game. That was the worst point of the game. I don't know what the fuck those people's problem was, because I think that the Batmobile stuff is a lot of fun. They include it in a lot of like the Riddler's challenges, a lot of the missions. You have to utilize the Batmobile. The mechanics of driving it are a little strange because of the fact that it has like a 4-wheel pivot steering system. So
it's a little stiff.
It took me a little bit of time to kind of figure out how to drive the thing and not wreck into fucking everything and just murder
I still
half
wreck
of
into
the
everything.
civilians.
That's the best part.
The one thing I like about that is a lot of things you could drive right through. It'll slow you down, but you could just drive right through
telephone poles, brick walls, like pretty much anything. You could just crash right through it.
Trees
the first thing I did was update every bit of armor I can on the Batmobile.
So which Batmobile is it?
It's
like
stylistically.
It's like a Tumbler.
It's like the
kind
Tumbler.
of like a Tumbler, yeah. I would say.
But it shifts into tank mode.
I really like the prison seats in the back of the Batmobile. I think that's a really cool take.
You mean the roller coaster seats?
Yeah, the roller coaster seats that are like the.
I want to go on that ride.
Yeah.
I think that's a really neat adaptation, and it kind of solves a lot of questions around Batman too. Like, okay, he's got this sweet car. You know, if you look back at like the Michael Keaton Batmobile, like if he detained someone, like how the fuck's he gonna take him in? Like,
well, he had Vicky Vale in it.
Yeah,
you just drag him behind it.
She was
I mean, basically that's your
like,
yeah. I mean, that's basically your best option is to like hog time and drag him on the street to the police department. But this one's got, seats in the back that are like armored and covered and stuff. And I just think it's a really neat adaptation, or a really practical solution for something that could be a question. All in all, I think the game is one of the most enjoyable, playable games that I've purchased in the last year and a half, for sure. Regardless of category of video game, computer, console, anything. I have recorded some gameplay footage that I'm gonna try to put together a little video review and upload it to the YouTube channel also. Maybe I'll incorporate.
I think you should have John doing a load-in theme song.
Yeah, I think maybe we might have
like
to
the pull screen and
I think
John
what we can
singing
do is maybe
into the game.
Maybe we'll do a multi-person review of the game and kind of talk about some different stuff. One thing that I will talk about that I personally liked a lot, and I'm sure that this is something that you guys enjoyed. Brian, I don't know if you're this far in the game yet. I don't know how far you are, but it did incorporate the most famous scene from The Killing Joke.
Yeah,
and
that's like early on in the game.
Oh my gosh, it was just so cool to see it visually, like in a video format, happen right in front of you. You kind of imagine it in your mind when you're reading through the pages of
the Hawaiian shirt and everything.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, it was right out of the fucking book. It was right out of the book. Camera hanging from his neck, everything, and it was really awesome. That was for me one of the biggest highlights of it for sure so far. What about I've talked enough about it. Brian, what do you think?
I agree with like everything you said. It's a great game. I didn't get to play that much of it because I went away this weekend, but it is a really good game, and I enjoyed playing it. I think all the characters in there are great. Little things they do without giving anything away at all. The little things they do at certain parts, like certain interactions with the character that comes across a lot, is really entertaining. It's a really great game. I mean, for a last Batman game, which this is the last Batman game, Arkham game. It's good. It's great. I love it. I mean, everything, all the little stories that are interlinked are good. I enjoy it. Like the first thing I did.
This is the third or the fourth one.
This is the third of Rocksteady's, but it's the fourth altogether. Arkham Origins, the one that came out last year with Deathstroke, was, I don't remember who it's done by, but it was a Rocksteady.
What do you think?
Was that one not as good?
No, that one was awesome. Origins was awesome.
Yeah,
No,
All the games were good.
Yeah.
There wasn't any of them that weren't good.
I just hope that at the end of the game they give you a hint of, like, I have a feeling they're gonna keep with the superhero genre, but I hope at the end of the game they like throw a hint to what they might be doing next.
There's been a lot of, like, where I'm at in the game, I've caught a lot of references to
Superman.
like, well, there's the Superman.
Yeah, they say Metropolis a bunch of
Well,
times.
there's one mission where you have to go to a LexCorp building.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then there's another one where Catwoman talks about a break-in with Queen
Industries, yeah. Well, they were in the Origins when you're at like the shipping docks or something. There's Queen like shipping crates.
on Origins.
Yeah,
There's a boat.
You're in
like a
There's a
shipyard.
boatload of references to other. I'm pretty sure at one point I heard him say Coast City and.
yeah.
and
Well, I
different
know
stuff,
that
so, I mean,
They
Arkham-
said the
Arkham Knight or Scarecrow says something, mentions a call Keystone City.
they said that apparently one of the big rumors is with the DLCs is that they're going to launch one around the time release of Batman v Superman, and they said that I don't know if Batman dies in this one, then they said that they may incorporate a Superman scene or something. I don't know.
I hope he doesn't die. That would be fucking bullshit.
Well,
yeah, that would be.
I hate when
I don't think he does, just by who I think. I don't know for sure yet, but just who I think. I haven't beat the game yet. I'm only like about 50% overall. But I think the Arkham Knight, if it's who I think it is, then Batman. There's no way Batman could die in the story.
I'm pretty sure I know who it is.
Who do you think it is?
Don't tell me.
I don't want to say anything right
Pretty
now.
sure you should shut the fuck up.
I'll message you on Facebook.
All right.
But if you listen to things he says to Batman, and when he like the few parts he catches up and runs away from you, like this is the like I had a deduction before the.
Hold on,
the game
I'm
came
gonna
out.
message you right now.
Fuck,
And tell
I
you
want to know
what
what you. Topher, take your headset off. I want this conversation to happen right
on.
now because
But do the listeners want it to happen?
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! If you don't,
Yeah.
I'm gonna message Brian. If we're
potential-
right,
All right.
we'll talk about it.
Hold on. Here's our disclaimer.
There's
If you don't want to hear what we think, this is all rumor that we have no idea. None of us have played the game all the way through.
we haven't
This
finished
is
the game
all
yet or gotten up to the point.
conjecture, predictions.
Hold on.
I'll start. I'll start because I think you guys both have the same prediction.
Okay.
I think it's Raj Al Ghul.
All right, hold on.
That's
hold
who
on.
I thought.
I'm messaging Brian.
The game kind of fooled me a little bit, and when those ninjas popped that up, that's part of the Arkham Knight. I thought it was that too, but yep, John does have the same. You do have the same.
You think it's Jason Todd?
Jason Todd.
Yep.
Okay.
First of all, they put in a random out of nowhere because he's never popped up in the game. They put in the Red Hood missions. Now, the way he talks to him,
Did you have the Red Hood missions? Did you get those?
No, I did not. I'm gonna get the season pass, but I want to play the full game first before I do any of the DLCs.
Did either of you do the Harley Quinn?
No, I haven't started anything until.
The Harley Quinn's a prequel. You should have done that first.
Oh well.
Yeah, I did the Harley Quinn. The Harley Quinn's pretty cool.
But yeah, the way he interacts with him, and they put in the Red Hood missions out of nowhere. That's who I think it is. The Red Hood. Like, listen to some of the things he says over the loudspeaker directly to Batman.
That for sure.
And with Nightwing talking to him, the way Nightwing talks about Jason Todd being dead, and how he's like talking about Timothy Drake and shit.
So we'll see. We'll probably know for sure by next week at the rate.
Hopefully, I'll probably have this shit be tonight.
But we're gonna wait a few weeks before we talk about it on here, just to give everybody a chance to buy it and everything. So, Topher, you can throw your headset back on. I don't know if you can.
How can he?
Topher, come on back.
He was listening the whole time. He's just playing this whole spoiler card.
Yeah, I don't know. Either way, so. Bottom line is the game is fantastic and you need to play this game. Yeah. It is if you're a comic book fan and you enjoy video games, this is one that you have to add to your collection because it's
not even a comic book, just a video game.
It's an incredible game. It really is. 10 out of 10 stars for sure. Okay, let's move over and talk about.
Anybody have a 10-star rating? So you have like stars that go to 10. Is that a thing?
I think it got a 9.2.
We do.
IGN or Game Informer.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I've seen people give a score out of 10. I've never heard them say like 10 stars.
That's because I'm fucking awesome. That's why. Okay, so let's talk about news. We're gonna start things out.
New song, please.
With That was too much jazz and not enough news. I'm gonna need something more like Dateline.
All right.
You're gonna
All right, we'll take that. Okay, that'll work. Okay, so we're gonna start off with some news that kind of hits home, close to home for Comic Book Nerd Nation. I'm not even sure that the other guys on the podcast have heard this or read this yet. First bit is Derby City Comic Con, which is owned and ran by one of our biggest supporters, Chuck Moore, who's been on the show, was sold. He sold it. It will be continuing on, but he will no longer be the owner. So congratulations to Chuck for putting on what I understand to be a very, very successful final show at Derby City. Yeah.
I was there. It was good.
Yeah, that's right. You talked about it last week. That's right. The other bigger news, which was just publicly announced, I found out last night, just publicly announced today, comicrelated.com, which has been a huge supporter of our podcast from literally episode number 1. They have hosted our podcast, every single one of them, featured it on their main page every week, week in and week out for the last 83 weeks straight. Unfortunately, will be coming to an end. They announced today that the owners are all kind of heading in different directions. They're staying involved with the comic book industry, but evolving themselves into different aspects of such. For example, Chuck Moore, he's going to be working. He's working with Complete Set. He talked about it a pretty good amount when he was on our podcast. It was a great podcast. I'm sure he'll be back on to talk about it some more. But the other owners, Brant Fowler, and I can't remember the other person's name for the life of me right now, so I apologize. They're just kind of shifting gears, so to speak, and they feel like they've done what they set out to do with the website, so they're not selling it, they're not passing it off to anybody else, they're just going to discontinue it because they don't want to see it change from what they remember. So I just personally want to take a minute and thank Comic Related for all their support, everything that they've done for us, as far as kind of helping us get a little bit of exposure and things like that. When we literally had nobody watching the podcast whatsoever, they helped us gain the 7 fans that we now have, which is fantastic. No, in all seriousness, I really do appreciate. Chuck's been great. He's always been a big advocate of the podcast, and he said he sent me a really nice email about it yesterday, and he said that he's actually really excited to have more free time to listen to the podcast and hopefully be on a couple more episodes. So I let him know he's always got a seat whenever he wants to come and sit in on one.
Coming the next about next month or two, he's going to be in my family, so he's going to have to come on the show.
He's marrying Pirate's sister.
No, cousin.
Cousin, whatever.
Way to botch that out.
Same difference. Sister, cousin, whatever. Everybody knows Pirates Inbred.
What the
No,
fuck?
just
Jesus Christ.
yeah, that was a heater. All right. Okay. On Twitter, Tyrese Gibson tweeted out a picture of Green Lantern, Hal Jordan, and John Stewart, and then tagged it, "Shit just got real." I guess he's been talking recently about the fact that he wants to be involved in a comic book movie. He wants to play in one of these big blockbuster titles. This is leading to a lot of speculation that he might be John Stewart.
You know what?
In the DC universe.
I am so tired of people posting pictures about and then attaching GL to it that it blows up. I just want to let them announce it. They've beat this dog dead, dude. Like,
maybe you should post one.
I thought about it. Like,
I'm Green
You could be
Lantern.
the next Hal Jordan. If you get
like, I might make it a good Kilowog. I don't know. I mean, I'm a fat guy.
You get enough retweets, man. You might be able to talk the DC executives into casting you as something.
I don't know. They don't want to do a film right, so they won't pass. They'll pass me.
They got that. They got that little. What's the little hamster's name? The hamster Green Lantern. You can be him.
I'll be the cat in the Red Lanterns. What's his fucking name? The fucking first Red Lantern.
Oh, God.
I'll be the villain. Fuck him.
But did you guys hear early in the week that the next Green Lantern movie might be it's a rumor, but it might be based on all three Green Lantern. Not Simon Bez. Fucking Guy Gardner.
Kyle Rayner and John Stewart or Hal Jordan.
No, Hal Jordan and John Stewart. I almost said Tyrese Gibson instead of John Stewart.
I thought they mentioned too Kyle Rayner in that.
I don't know.
I thought I seen something on that.
I don't know. I mean,
well, here's my question.
The movie's not till 2020. Like,
yeah,
why are we already speculating about cast members?
Here's my question.
Well, because whoever it is going to be in the Justice League movie way before that. I bet the solo movie will come later.
Yeah,
they said Green Lantern's not going to pop up until Justice League Part 1 or the end of it.
But that's still going to be before.
Yeah,
the Green Lantern solo movie in 2020.
Has anybody else noticed that we've completely shifted gears from shitting all over Topher to completely just cutting off Pirate every time we?
That's normal. I'm just like, fuck. No, but my question is, what's going to happen?
It's like riding a bike.
God.
It's just get back.
Brian's like, it's just like riding this new dildo that I've got.
I didn't ride it yet.
I don't think anybody.
It just rattles across your desk.
My ass is a little abused today, so I've been shitting too much. You can't stick those things in your butt while you're shitting.
This just got awkward as hell. I'm not gonna lie.
Anyway, so what were you saying, Pirate?
Back to Pirate.
I wish I could hook this pedal up right now. This delay pedal.
So you could just
delay your voice.
Delay what I wanted to say.
Man, we should all get auto-tune and just do a podcast in auto-tune.
That would be awesome.
Did you hear?
Yeah, it wasn't that important.
I saw a video of Kanye West singing Bohemian Rhapsody at one of his concerts, and the title of the video.
Taylor Swift got Kanye'd.
The title of the video was why Kanye West always uses auto-tune. It was. Oh my god, it was atrocious.
Did you see some comedian Kanye today or yesterday? Or was it? No,
wasn't it at the BET Awards?
I can't remember where it was at, but yeah, some dude came out on the stage and interrupted him, and he stopped the song and restarted it.
Really?
Like he's like, hold up, start it over. Like it was hilarious.
James Gunn has announced officially the title of the next Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
I saw this. This is great.
He tweeted out, and I will read the tweet verbatim. Yes, the official title for the Guardians sequel is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Nice detective work.
I was really gonna hope it was gonna be like Bring It On or Save the Last Dance.
Dance battle.
Dance battle.
It works. I mean, you don't really need
Stomp to
another
the yard.
a title.
I mean, how are they gonna top Civil War? I mean, that's the greatest title ever.
Put Selena Gomez in the
World
Guardians
War?
of the Galaxy.
No.
Galactic split war.
It should be Step It Up to Infinity.
Oh, God.
Flash Dance. How about that? Space Dance. Space
No.
Jam.
I want
Flash
Jam.
isn't.
I
Flash
want
isn't
so
in,
bad for somebody to
yeah.
do like a parody video of the Flash in Flashdance. that just came to me. I don't know why. When you said that, I was just like, I picture the Flash from the TV show doing the dance.
And you can have the golden glider flying around, sprinkling gold dust over top of him while he's doing it and shit.
Oh God, that would be fantastic.
Or better yet, Footloose. He goes in, saves the place. You know, the oppressive government, the oppressive, yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Spare Anal.
Space Anal.
Space Anal.
Spare Anal?
That's what it looks like. That looks like.
When anal is not enough, you gotta have some backup anal.
It's not my fault he can't write.
Yeah,
Everybody knows Brian's got a 3rd grade education.
And I'm the inbred one, really.
Oh, your anal is in use. No, it's okay. I have a spare.
I have a spare anal.
I got a backup poop chute. We're good. Everything's fine.
Why do you think they call it number 2? Yeah,
Number 2.
That was a cheap pun. I had to go there. All right. Jared Leto, in the other news, is a total freak. Apparently, I don't know why, probably just a publicity stunt and the fact that he's a total douchebag, is trying to... I don't know how to describe it other than just him being a complete shithead. He's trying to get into the Joker role by sending weird gifts to co-stars and castmates. He sent the actress that's playing Harley Quinn a live rat.
Oh, you dirty rat! You killed my brother.
He sent other people on the cast bullets and a dead hog.
I mean, if they have a smoker, that's
a dead hog. Really, he sent a fucking pig
to
somebody?
Yes. I mean, it's just...
Dude, if somebody sent me bacon, like...
Okay, there's a distinct difference between bacon and a dead hog. Like, if you're buying a dead hog to have a barbecue, that's one thing.
So what kind of bacon do you eat?
Goddamn hippie. It's toasted. Fucking hippie.
The kind that's sliced and packaged and says bacon at the top, not the kind that still has a face
Canadian.
on it.
Yeah, but you can slice this bacon any way you want.
Slice it and make bacon.
Fox, I think you're old enough to know this now. This is going to be a hard truth to swallow. Bacon is made from dead pigs.
Yes, I understand that, but there I don't understand.
Ryan's life has been a lie now.
My point is, if you wanted to buy him bacon, why didn't he just buy him bacon? Why did he give him a dead hog? He's doing it as a publicity stunt.
Why did he give him
to try and make he's trying to basically make waves within the news and everything like that to make them think that he's traveling down the same path as Heath Ledger, because Heath Ledger did such a phenomenal job. I mean, what Pirate, you were even saying that they've got paid psychiatrists or whatever to be on the set for this movie because they're so worried that people are going to go down that path like Heath Ledger did. I mean, I don't know. I don't know him. I don't know.
I think I'm going to be like an actor, and I'm going to get so enwrapped in a character and then just like see what happens. I'm going to just study the Joker. I'm going to live it. I'm going to stay in my room. I'm going to quit work. I'm going to act like the Joker and see what happens.
Why so serious?
Yeah. Why not?
Fair enough. Pretty sure you're going to get arrested.
Exactly. That's my point. Like, why do these people think that they can be, like, oh, I'm just going to mail somebody, You know, I'm gonna mail Chris. Topher, I'm gonna send you a hog.
Bring it over.
Why a hog?
I'm gonna send him a dead rat. I'm just gonna
way to be original. Why send him
No,
a
it wasn't
pig?
a
Why
dead
not
rat.
send
It
him
was a
like
live rat. It
Oh,
wasn't even a
live
dead
rat.
rat.
Okay, well here's the thing. I'm gonna send a random person a bullet and see what happens.
Yeah, see, that's, you know.
Well, I'm gonna
You know
take
what I
that
mean?
Yeah,
bullet.
that's normally a good way. Normally a good way to get arrested.
That's what I'm
Exactly.
saying.
Yeah, no doubt. That's what I'm saying. Like,
It's like-
it's not fucking
the
like
fucking
some people,
FBI shows up thinking you're a terrorist threat.
Yeah, it's. I mean, well, no, I would get arrested for not having a FFL and sending ammunition via mail.
Hey,
That's
hey,
what
but
would
guess
happen.
what? It got you to talk about his movie, so
Yep,
it worked.
that's exactly
That's
why.
touche.
It's a gimmick.
Because it's just a gimmick.
Yeah.
You
Beat you to it.
first.
Oh, damn you, Jared Leto!
All right. The last bit of news that we're going to talk about today is
Balls.
no.
Spare
Not
alien
that.
balls.
There was a new series announced, Extraordinary X-Men. Brian, you got the details on this?
So, I just saw this right before we started recording. They announced that coming after Civil
I
War
just
on
want to
their
note
like.
something. I'm going to totally interrupt him, but he has a real problem with not being in the middle of the camera.
Yeah, I know.
He's like always off.
Action shot.
All right. Yeah. Topher's got it down.
I'm Brian.
Hi, I'm Brian.
I'm Brian.
Everybody do the Brian.
Everybody do. Everybody do. Brand new dance now.
I think
So,
I think
along with
Pirate's
the-
trying to show us his cleavage.
What the fuck? I'm
So
sorry.
along with
What
the
the fuck?
several other shitty titles announced for pre-Secret Wars, including Totally Awesome Hulk and the continuation of A-Force and that crappy Avengers team, they announced.
Wait, was that totally awesome Hulk thing like for real? I thought you were just fucking.
No, that's for real.
Does he
for
really
real.
have a faux hawk in that?
Yes,
like the Jolly Green Giant thing.
it's for really real.
Was
They
it
better
that
not
for real?
out.
That was straight out of the article. Yeah, that was for really real.
Oh, man.
So they announced
I
the.
thought you were just trying to piss off Fox.
No, that's
I
real,
don't
dude.
even want to talk about it. I'm leaving it out of the news.
Oh,
man.
shut him up. Oh, he said you got no nipple.
Oh,
He's
bitter.
They just announced the flagship X-Men title, which is called the Extraordinary X-Men, yeah, which is a teaming of Magic, Colossus, who now has a handlebar, either a full beard or a handlebar beard, and gray hair.
What's a handlebar
Isn't
beard?
it like, does it go out like this? Like, like,
It's
he
a
competes in
handlebar
freestyle.
mustache attached to a beard, so it's a handlebar beard.
All right. You're telling this.
I think they just call that a goatee.
Storm, Nightcrawler. Fuck, I'm trying to look for the article for the full team. Old Man Logan
Old Man Logan,
and
Adult
Young
Iceman,
Jean. Yeah, and Adult
and
Iceman.
Adult Iceman.
So they have like a slew of like just thrown together mutants. And in the article they said that at first Old Man Logan's apprehensive joining the team because he remembers his past when he slaughtered the X-Men in his universe. In that whole Old Man Logan story, which I don't know. I don't know about this. I might be saving tons of money when Marvel restarts after Secret Wars because they all know where they came from originally. Obviously, since Old Man Logan will remember his X-Men being slaughtered by his claws. And they're just like throwing together these like 2-bit characters. I mean, a lot of the X-Men characters on this team are like really good characters that I enjoy when I read the X-Men, but like I just don't understand what they're trying to do. Like, this is a whole new universe, like main universe, with people from different universes that remember their past. I just don't understand what they're doing.
Sounds to me like they're trying to do a New 52, but where the continuity is still good.
The
Which
continuity is
doesn't
coming.
really, like,
Well,
it just
it's
really
still good.
it really muddies the water almost even more than. What
And
the
everybody's
52
continuity
did.
doesn't add up because,
Right, because it's
you
all
know, this
different.
came from one universe, this was from this
Right.
story. I mean,
It's kind of a
the
strange-
continuity of their past exists.
I get what
but it's just
I feel like they're trying to silence the people that didn't like how New 52 did it, where just everything started over except Batman and Green Lantern, right? Those were the two.
Yeah, they had their history, which their history doesn't
really
make sense either.
Make sense, but New 52, when it started, had great stories. They had a lot to tell.
And they don't.
Well, I mean, they could. I don't know. It's hard to say right now because it hasn't.
I honestly.
Yet.
I honestly want to know, have you ever? Well, but you are though. Like I honestly want to know, have you ever been excited about anything? Have you ever looked forward to something, read something, and gone, that sounds like it's going to be kind of cool. I'm going to check that out.
Yeah.
Because like everything we ever talk about, you're always like,
no,
excuse me. Like they're just trying to.
I was excited
for
Original Sin when it was coming out. It's just turned out to be complete and utter shit.
And how'd that work out for you?
It turned out to be fucking garbage. I was also excited about Forever Evil, which on the opposite end turned out to be really good. I was excited about Convergence, and it turned out to be shit. And I was excited for Secret Wars, but I haven't really gotten the chance to read much of it yet, so I don't want to like say how I feel about that.
I can't get past Logan.
I'm actually excited about this. I mean, like, this whole like throwing together people from other universes. Like, I don't know exactly what the problem with that is. Also, this isn't really throwing together people from multiple universes. It's the main 616 X-Men plus Old Man Logan. Like, so yeah, they took some of their most popular characters from alternate timelines and universes, and now they're bringing them into the fold. I mean, it's not the first time they've done that. Like for years there were characters from Age of Apocalypse that were, like Dark Beast was one of my.
That made more sense.
I feel like this could be one of those things that like is kind of an awkward transition, like for the first like couple months, but then 6 months.
Well, I mean,
a year from now, we might look back on it. It might be one of those things like, wow, they're really doing some awesome stuff now. I don't know.
They're setting up a new status quo. Comic book companies do this all the time. Like if you look at, AVX was probably the last one for Marvel. But like since before that, it goes all the way back pretty much to Civil War. Was House of M, was the last time that things were really shaken up. So like starting kind of like a new jumping on point. Like I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting to bring, because let's be honest, the side stories, people might love those characters, from an alternate universe, but the titles themselves don't sell because they don't count. If they're in an alternate universe, an alternate timeline, they're not real. The Ultimate line was suffering so bad in sales, like because nobody cared. It didn't count. It wasn't the real stories. So they're like, why don't we bring the people in there, the people from that universe that everybody liked, and put them in the real stories? And bam, now more people are going to read them. So like, I don't see that there's anything wrong with that. Plus, you've got. You're just setting the stage to tell a whole new group of stories. Like I'm actually kind of tired of some of the things that they've been talking about for the last few years. Like I'm excited to see that they're doing something new, and I love that they're not throwing out continuity like New 52 did. That it's not going to be confusing. That you're not going to like, well, which stories count? Which ones actually happened? No, you know what? It all counts. It all happened. It's all part of the character's history still. But you've got a jumping on point for new readers who don't necessarily need to know every single thing that happened to them, don't need to know, well, what happened in AVX? Why are we here? Why is Cyclops leading a mutant revolution? Why are the Avengers, off doing whatever the fuck they've been doing? Like, you don't need to know those things because now it's a clean break. You're setting up a new world. You can say, like, in a paragraph, hey, here's everything you need to know to start enjoying these stories right now.
On a side note, Topher is now accepting sponsorships from Marvel Comics.
But then again, they're like doing the shit with the Hulk.
Well,
which is completely garbage.
I'm not saying all of it's going to be good. I'm sure there's going to be bad ones. But hey, look, I did the same thing with DC. I picked up the Black Canary #1. I picked up the We Are Robin last week. Like I haven't read it yet. But, like, there's like there's a lot of new number ones for DC, and I'll tell you what, when DC did the New 52, even though I didn't care for how they threw out continuity and like I wasn't really sure what I like. Do I know this character or not? Is this the same person that I know a bit of? Like that, I started picking up a lot more comics of DC than I pretty much never bought any before that, So like I would say the exact same thing about DC.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna give it a try. I'm gonna give some of the titles a try that I seem interested in, but it's just like some of the things that they're doing, and I'm sure we'll get more once San Diego starts.
Yeah.
But like some of certain things are just like
Yeah, I'm not saying all of it.
Jolly Green Hulk.
That Jolly Green Hulk thing sounds pretty fucking terrible, actually.
The Avengers team
but
seems like more the Young Avengers.
Yeah, but as far as the X-Men one looks, like, I mean, they're pretty much bringing back everybody on that team has been like an X-Man since 1975. So it's not like they're like pulling random people out of their ass and be like, oh, let's put this guy together.
I mean, I do like the idea of what they're doing. Miles Morales will be the front and center Spider-Man, and like Peter Parker's gonna be more of his like mentor. Yeah, I like that idea. It reminds me of that story that like 5-book like story that they did where the old Peter Parker goes into the Ultimate Universe and he's like talking to him and Miles team up. He goes to see the Ultimate Peter Parker's Aunt May and Gwen Stacy because their Peter Parker was dead. And I like that. The whole mentor thing with Peter Parker. Give him like something good. Finally give him something good and not take it away. Like he's a mentor. He's teaching somebody.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it's just going to be one of those things where ultimately we're going to have to wait and see.
It's going to be a case-by-case basis. Yeah.
Exactly.
There will be some good books. There will be some bad ones.
There always are.
Sure,
any kind of launch things.
Do you think they'll bring the Watcher back just so they can find another way to horribly right away he dies?
Yeah, that was... And what happened to that Nick Fury? No one knows.
On that note, that's about it for this
I had also heard that... Oh, well, never mind.
No, go ahead.
That's it.
No, I was just gonna say I'd also heard that I don't know if this was more than just Marvel, but I had heard that Marvel was looking at doing, once this starts, kind of like sort of a different publishing model where instead of years upon years of continuity, like status quo, that they're going to be doing more of almost like a TV season style, where they're going to release books and seasons, and then it'll be like maybe a year at a time or so, and then they'll do another volume that'll start telling like another longer story arc, and so that you can kind of go into any beginning of one of those seasons as kind of a new jumping on point.
That seems like a favorite.
But I would think they would end up shooting that down after the first one, because then they realize they're not going to be able to have as many tie-ins to get those extra dollar grabs that they go for, because that's been my whole problem with Marvel recently, is I really get into a book that I like, but to get the full story of it, I have to go and buy 20 other books that are just going to be turned around and killed after 7 or 8 issues. Every
now and then I buy a comic book,
and
then I have to buy another one.
All right. Clearly, we have nothing else of relevance to talk about. So.
Wait. Old Man Logan. I think of the old man from the Happy Gilmore movies that's missing all his teeth. Every time somebody says Old Man Logan, I picture a man sitting on a park bench eating sardines, fighting pigeons. I don't know why.
That was weird.
That's the image in my head.
That's a good point to close this on.
All right. And that's it for this episode. I'm Fox2. We got Pirate.
Fuck everybody on this podcast. I'm not saying shit.
Topher.
Yeah, you'd like that, wouldn't you?
And the whole Left and Brian.
Fuck everybody on this podcast. I'm saying goodbye.